For every young man, the years between 14 and 21 are years of decision. It is a time when life is a series of doors, some mysterious and of uncertain promise, some of reward and achievement. What happens to the man who goes through this door, a door marked Demolay? He enters a full and active world of companionship and sociability, of shared fun and seriousness, the fast-moving, on-the-go world of Demolay today. And Demolays are always in the sum of things, healthy pleasures. The simple sense of sheer enjoyment that comes from using muscle and nerve in friendly competition with other men you like and respect. For a Demolay, sports are what sports were originally about, a shared game for fun, a friendly exercise of high spirits and fast action. Demolays try hard. It's natural to them. But what counts is not expertise, but wholehearted participation. But a Demolay doesn't use his muscles only for fun. He puts them to work for his head and his heart. Civic action is a Demolay keystone. This can mean cleanup, but it also means get up and go. The same Demolays who help after an election are often active before one.
Finally. Did you ever stop to think if we hadn't handed out so many cards before election, we wouldn't have had to pick up so many posters afterwards?
But if elections are the arteries of a democracy, there are other situations where the gift of blood is literally a gift of life. In many Demolay chapters, young men have volunteered as blood donors. Wherever there's a need for service, as in this hospital nursery, you're likely to find a Demolay. For these young men believe in a way of life that is genuinely person to person, heart to heart. Demolays discover early the rewards of sharing their own outgoing energy and enthusiasm with others. To a little leaguer, the action can be big league when there's a Demolay around to demonstrate how to handle things football-wise. Growing up doesn't have to be a lonely thing when the real aim of the game is helping youngsters turn into men. It takes place with and through others.
When I walked through that door, I walked into a new, warm world, the kind of world I wanted. First of all, it was friendly, with other guys I could know and like. I didn't have to feel like a loner any longer. It was an action place. All kinds of it, including the kind that makes today today. It was a place for fun and far-out music and pretty girls to listen with. But it turned out to be more than that, a lot more. DeMolay kind of stretches your life in new directions. You begin to think not just of yourself, not even of just the people like yourself, your own age, but the others. You begin to think about the ones younger, or weaker, or not so lucky. You begin to feel responsible. Life stretches another way, too, ahead, toward the future. When a boy walks through that door, he walks into the company of men.
Behind every DeMolay chapter stands firmly an advisory council of at least 6 master masons, mature men, dedicated to the advancement of youth and to the promotion of the ideals and well-being of the Order of DeMolay. Of these men, the closest to the chapter is the chapter advisor. He is generally known as the chapter dad, a term that is a tribute to the first and most famous chapter dad, Frank S. Land, founder of the International Order of DeMolay. It all began with him. And it all began here in the old Scottish Rite Temple in Kansas City, Missouri. The date, 1919, more than half a century ago. Those present, Dad Land and 9 young men. That was all. That was enough. Since those beginnings, the International Order of DeMolay has initiated nearly 3 million young men. Its ranks have included some of our century's best-known, best-loved leaders in all walks of life. They are famous now, but just like their fellow DeMolays of today, they were once young men whose future lay ahead of them. What is it they all share in common? The energy-charging ideals of the Order of DeMolay. Among those ideals, one of the foremost is the DeMolay emphasis on individuality. This emphasis expresses itself in a very special DeMolay institution. Leadership camps, spotted strategically around the nation, are open to all DeMolays. These camps bring together some of the most exciting, most challenging, most energetic and fun-loving young men in the free world. Like many DeMolay activities, the camps on the surface seem simply like a good way to have a great time.
Okay, thank you very, very much, the young men of Zeta. Let's continue with the show now and move right along with the men from Beta. Here they are.
Thank you very much, Dad Palmer. The men of Beta would like to welcome you to the gold, crystal, silver, tin ballroom of the Hotel Sheets here in beautiful Potosi, Missouri, overlooking the beautiful Monongahela River. And here we have the pride of Beckett, the girls. A 1, a 2. Oh, your red scarf matches your eyes. You close your cover before striking. Your father has the ship.
If talent night sometimes seems to turn out more like no talent night, it's still an occasion for a lot of laughs and high-spirited companionship.
That evening, while my back was turned.
But beyond the fun, the serious business of the camp is taking place. In study and discussion sessions, problems of the order recruitment, public service, the establishment of fraternal goals are considered, and the qualities of effective leadership are analyzed. Thoughtful skull sessions such as these provide the weight and substance which enable DeMolays to enjoy wholeheartedly the alternating moments of recreation and relaxation. At a watermelon feast, they know how to get right down to the heart of the matter. On an early morning horseback ride, they break new trails of fraternal companionship. The fact that competition is good-natured doesn't mean it isn't also rigorous and high-spirited. But even what looks like play has its serious significance. Ritual is at the heart of Demolay, the dramatic, objective representation of basic ideals that sets Demolay apart from other youth organizations, while specific meanings of certain acts, words, signs, are secrets sacred to only Demolay initiates. The central purposes of the order are secret from no one.
The Holy Bible is a symbol of the religious liberty which is the birthright of all people.
The flag is a symbol of the civil liberty without which there could be no religious freedom.
And these books are a symbol of intellectual freedom, without which there could be neither civil nor religious liberty.
The light of this candle stands for a Demolay's reverence for sacred things.
Of this, for filial love. This, comradeship.
Courtesy, fidelity,
Cleanness.
and patriotism.
These flames signify the 7 cardinal virtues of a Demolay. We light them as constant guardians about the bulwarks of the basic beliefs we cherish.
The true source of such convictions is eternal, outside of time. But in time, their ritual representation is derived from the inspiration of a 14th century knight and martyr, Jacques Demolay. He and his faithful companion, Guy Auvergne, were burned at the stake by a greedy king because they refused to betray their friends, their principles, and the secrets of their order, the Knights Templars. The year was 1314, the day, March 18th. On that same date, 605 years later, it was no coincidence that a new organization of American youth, adopting Demolay's name and principles, established an order that was to spread internationally. In 1314, or 1919, or 1969, or 2009, the beliefs that gave strength to Jacques Demolay are still energizing sources to provide a rich, happy, and active life for any young man. Because his roots go deep, a Demolay knows how to get the most out of the present as he prepares for the future. The years of brotherhood aren't calendar years. They are always now, because for a Demolay, today is tomorrow. Wherever you find a Demolay, you find fun, and often a pretty girl.
Nominations are now in order for Chapter Sweetheart. Brother Tom? Brother Bob? Brother Bill?
One of the crowning events of any sweetheart ball is the selection of a Demolay sweetheart. It's one of the happier facts of life that boys like girls, and girls like Demolays. They like them because they're both in and individualists. Demolays can be fun in the sun and swingers on the dance floor. But most important of all, a girl can respect a Demolay, for there comes a time when the music stops. This is the moment of the traditional 9 o'clock interpolation, a ceremony that symbolizes at every appropriate function the basic idealism that binds the brotherhood of Demolay.
Brethren, at this hour all over our land, mothers are bending above the beds wherein lie the children they love. At this hour also, guests in homes and hospitals are preparing for the hour of rest. Let us pause a moment in our deliberation while the chaplain offers a prayer. Brother Chaplain, you will lead us in prayer. Demolays will kneel on left knee, all others will remain standing.
Our Father, as sons of loving and indulgent parents, we invoke thy divine blessing upon all the fathers and mothers of our country and of all the world. And wilt thou pour out a special blessing for our mothers, who have watched over us with unceasing care during all the years of our lives. We ask thy benediction upon all who labor for the relief of suffering and need. May we ever realize that we are brothers of the helpless and suffering, and rejoice in every call to the relief of pain or the alleviation of sorrow. Wilt thou help us to lead upright and patriotic lives, worthy of the devotion of all who have labored for our beloved country in every field of sacrifice and service. Amen.
God bless Mother, God bless Father, God bless the purposes of Demolay. Amen.
At any kind of social function, you'll probably meet the other woman in every Demolay's life, his mother. But Demolay mothers serve their sons in more ways than one. Mothers' clubs are active everywhere on the Demolay scene. Whether it's party planning or fundraising, or providing understanding and encouragement for manifold Demolay activities, including the making of robes and costumes for the ritual degrees. Trying on can be a trying operation for both parties, but parents have a way of providing happy endings. To demonstrate their appreciation, Demolays set aside a special ceremonial day just for parents. It is a day on which it is the duty of every Demolay to give his parents some concrete token, or to perform some act to show his gratitude for all his parents do for him. On such a special day as this, a young man begins to realize the changes that have taken place within him since he knocked at the door of De Molay. Humbly and sincerely, I promise to be a better son. I promise to love and serve God, my country, and my fellow men. I promise to honor and protect every woman. I promised to slander no one. I promised to aid and uphold the public schools. I promised to walk uprightly before God and man. All these things and more I did promise. De Molays are swingers. They're high flyers. They're on the ball. The name of the game is marathon, and the aim of the game is to do something, almost anything, better and longer than any other group has ever done it. It can be a record 501 hours worth of Monopoly. And if that pastime gets too dry, then why not try it underwater on this specially designed set? Aqualunged financiers work in relay teams as they toy with liquid assets. But marathon mania is only one of the lighter facets of De Molay action. Basically, a life in De Molay is an act of exploration. It can be an exploration of the natural world, as in this high country Jeep trail ride. Along with the excitement of wilderness adventure, there goes the experience of companionship, shared not only with other De Molays, but as in so many of the Order's activities, with De Molay dads as well. To make a trip like this is to share in the rich heritage of a region's history, and to discover anew the excitement of the pioneering spirit that charted unmapped territory. But where old-time prospectors found their luck played out, today's young men pan the true gold of comradeship. On an expedition such as this, goals may be a ghost town or a glacial lake. De Molays are achievers, and you find them in the darndest places. They may be scaling a sheer cliffside, whirling through ancient ritual as members of the famed Koshari Indian dancers. Or flying into tomorrow's age of aerospace. At the Air Force Academy, as in every branch of the service, De Molays are among the outstanding cadets. This crack Demolay installation team is famous for the glittering efficiency of its sword play. A different kind of glitter, a lighter kind of play, marks one of the crowning events of the Demolay year, the Conclave. It's a great get-together for old friends and a chance to make new ones. It's a grand holiday not only for Demolays, but for their dates and chaperones as well. It's a time for fast music, fun, and feasting. There's the opportunity for new sights, new experiences. But beyond the parties and pleasures, a conclave is above all an occasion for Demolays to strengthen the traditions of their past, honor the present, and plan for the future. That future will find Demolay playing as active a part in the next half-century as it has in the last. For it's always the nature of Demolays to be young men on the go.